Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to start this video by saying that I'm really sorry that I haven't posted in such a long time. The weather's been horrible. It's been raining all day and I rely on natural light, so I cannot film. Today's video is going to be all about my classic book collection, and I decided to give it a little bit of a twist and share with you the name in Romanian as well as in English. I read classic books in Romanian because I find them easier to follow, and because if you didn't know, Romanian is my first language, so I thought it would be really fun to tell you the name in Romanian. I hope you're gonna enjoy it, and let's get started. There is no order. The books by the same author are together, so let's get started. The first book that I have in front of me is actually the latest book that I finished, and it's Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, or Crimă și Pedapsă. Crime and Punishment follows Raskolnikov, a former student who commits a random murder without remorse or regret. He imagines himself to be a great man acting for a higher purpose. Next is my favorite Russian author, Leo Tolstoy, and we have Anna Karenina. Is the same in English and in Romanian. Anna Karenina is a sophisticated woman who abandons her empty existence as the wife of Karenin and turns to Count Vronsky to fulfill her passionate nature without thinking about all the tragic consequences. And War in Peace, or Război și Pace. War in Peace focuses on Napoleon's invasion of Russia in 1812 and follows three of the most well-known characters in literature: Pierre Bezukhov, Prince Andrei Bolkonsky, and young Natasha Rostov. We have more Russian authors, and this is Vladimir Nabokov, and the book is Lolita. Lolita is known for its controversial subject. The protagonist, a middle-aged literature professor, is obsessed with a 12-year-old girl, Dolores Hayes. Lolita is his private nickname for Dolores. We have The Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco, or Numele Trandafirului. The Name of the Rose is a historical murder mystery set in an Italian monastery in the year 1327. Alexandre Dumas and the Count of Monte Cristo, or Contele de Monte Cristo. The Count of Monte Cristo tells a story of an unjustly incarcerated man who escapes to find revenge. Dantes, a sailor, is falsely accused by his best friend Fernand, who wants Dantes' girlfriend for himself. The Three Musketeers, or Cei Trei Mușchetari. Set between 1625 and 1628, The Three Musketeers recounts the adventures of a young man after he leaves home to travel to Paris, hoping to join the Musketeers of the Guard. And next is a book that I don't really know exactly because I couldn't find it, but I think it's The 45 Guardsmen, or Cei 45. The 45 Guardsmen is a historical novel and is the third and final work in his Valois trilogy. Next is Alexandre Dumas' Phil, or the son of Alexandre Dumas, and we have The Lady with the Camellias, or Dama cu Cameli.
The Lady of the Camellias is a novel based on the author's brief love affair and tells the tragic love story between fictional characters Marguerite and Armand.
Two little books by Balzac, and we have Father Goriot or Moche Goriot.
Set in Paris in 1819, it follows the lives of three characters: the elderly Goriot, a mysterious criminal in hiding, and a naive law student.
And Un fil du Eve, that's really bad French, or Au fique à éveil.
A Daughter of Eve is a short novel, part of the Scenes of Private Life section of Balzac's vast masterpiece, The Human Comedy.
Next we have The Charterhouse of Parma by Stendhal, or Mănăstirea din Parma.
Published in 1839, The Charterhouse of Parma tells the story of an Italian nobleman in the Napoleonic era.
And The Red and the Black by the same author, or Roșu și Negru.
The Red and the Black is a historical psychological novel that tells the story of a provincial young man who wants to rise socially beyond his modest upbringing.
Moving on to my favorite French author, we have Notre Dame de Paris, or Cocochatul de la Notre Dame by Victor Hugo.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame is a Gothic novel that tells the story of the deformed bell ringer of Notre Dame Cathedral and his unrequited love for the beautiful dancer La Esmeralda.
And my favorite book of all time, Les Mis, or Miserabili by Victor Hugo.
Les Mis tells the story of the convict Jean Valjean, who is released from a French prison after serving 19 years for stealing a loaf of bread.
Next we have The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, or Aventurile lui Sherlock Holmes.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is a collection of 12 detective short stories, first published in 1892.
Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, or Fahrenheit 451.
Fahrenheit 451 is a dystopian novel that presents a future society where books are forbidden and firemen are supposed to burn all the books that they find.
Next is Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence, or Amantul Doamnei Chatterley.
The novel follows our main protagonist that enters into a passionate love affair with her husband's educated gamekeeper.
Another favorite of mine is The Portrait of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, or Portretul lui Dorian Gray.
The Picture of Dorian Gray is a Gothic novel about a young man who purchases eternal youth at the expense of his soul.
Then Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald or Marley Gatsby.
Set in the Jazz Age on Long Island, the novel tells the story of a mysterious millionaire, Jay Gatsby, and his obsession to reunite with his former lover, Daisy.
Then we have 3 Virginia Woolf. We have The Years or Annie.
The Years is a 1937 novel by Virginia Woolf, and it's the last she published in her lifetime.
Between the Acts or Între Acte.
Between the Acts was published shortly after Virginia Woolf's death in 1941. It is considered to be an unfinished novel.
And Night and Day or Noapte și Zi.
Night and Day is set in Edwardian London and examines the relationships between love, marriage, happiness, and success.
Next we have another favorite of mine, Daphne du Maurier, and we have a short story collection called Don't Look Now and Other Stories or Nu privi acum și alte povestiri.
Don't Look Now, Another Story is a collection of 5 stories of suspense, mystery, and slow creeping horror.
My Cousin Rachel or Verișoara mea Rachel.
My Cousin Rachel is a gripping story about a young man that plots revenge against the woman he believes murdered his cousin.
Jamaica Inn or Hanul Jamaica.
The novel follows orphan Mary that has to move with her aunt and uncle at the Jamaica Inn. There she finds that are people who run ships aground, kill the sailors, and steal the cargo.
And of course Rebecca.
Rebecca is a Gothic novel that follows an unnamed young woman who marries a wealthy widower and discovers that both he and his household are haunted by the memory of his late first wife.
One of the only books that I have just in English and is Little Women by Louisa M. Alcott.
Little Women follows the lives of the 4 March sisters, Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy, and their passage from childhood to womanhood.
We have 2 books by the Bronte sisters, and we have, of course, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte or La Răscruce de Vânturi.
Wuthering Heights is a wild, passionate story of the intense and almost demonic love between Catherine and Heathcliff.
And And I have two editions of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte.
The novel follows the story of Jane, a seemingly plain and simple girl, as she battles through life's struggle.
I have a lot of Jane Austen, so we have Persuasion or Persuasione. Persuasione. That's a weird word.
Persuasion is the last novel fully completed by Jane Austen. The story follows Anne Elliot, a young English woman whose family moved to lower their expenses and reduce their debt.
We have the Northanger Abbey or Monastera Northanger.
This novel tells the story of a young girl who leaves her sheltered rural home to enter the busy, sophisticated world of Bath in the late 1790s.
Another book that I have in English is Mansfield Park, or I believe is Parkul Mansfield.
Mansfield Park tells the story of Fanny as she navigates her young adulthood. As a child, Fanny is sent to live with her aunt and her uncle at their country estate, Mansfield Park.
Pride and Prejudice or Mândrie și Prejudecată.
Pride and Prejudice follows the Bennet family that has 5 daughters and no heir. Therefore, the girls must marry really well. The opportunity comes when 2 bachelors move close to them, Mr. Bingley and, of course, the arrogant Mr. Darcy.
We have Emma.
Emma has long played matchmaker for her friends and believes her own heart immune from love. This is a fascinating and hilarious coming-of-age tale of one woman seeking her true nature and finding true love.
We have Sense and Sensibility, or as it was published first, Eleanor and Marianne.
Sense and Sensibility tells the story of the impoverished Dashwood family, focusing on sisters Eleanor and Marianne.
And last, we have Lady Susan and some of the letters between Jane Austen and her sister.
Lady Susan is a short story about a widow in her 30s who has an affair with a married man, and the second part of this book is a collection of letters between Jane Austen and her sister.
Okay, I'm happy that you're still here. We have the last author, and that is Charles Dickens, and we have the book that I'm actually currently reading, Oliver Twist.
The story follows an orphan, Oliver Twist, born in a workhouse and sold into apprenticeship with an undertaker.
Great Expectations or Marile Speranze.
Great Expectations follows the childhood and young adult years of Pip, a blacksmith apprentice in a country village. He suddenly comes into a large fortune from a mysterious benefactor.
We we have A Tale of Two Cities, or Poveste despre două orașe, and this one I actually have a Penguin Classics that I found at a used bookstore, and it's again A Tale of Two Cities.
A Tale of Two Cities is an 1859 historical novel set in London and Paris before and during the French Revolution.
Okay, we're done. It's been a lot. All of the books are from used bookstores. I love finding old editions of classics. Some of them are dated in, like, for example, look at this. This is really old. It's now looking really pretty. This edition was published in 1965. That's a long time ago. And I don't know, I just find that this is so much better than just, I mean, yes, the newer editions are really pretty, and obviously I'd love to have them as well, but for now I'm just happy with finding these gems in the used bookstores. This is in 1959, my copy of Les Mis. As you can see, it's really old. It's not looking that good, but it's just priceless. Look how pretty it is. So that's why I love collecting these books that are really old and battered, and they're not in the best condition, but they're still mine. And I don't know, it feels like you see that they were well loved, and that's all that matters. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end, because I believe it's gonna be quite a long video. And I just found really interesting and a little bit weird, to be honest, to say the titles of the books in Romanian as well. But maybe this is gonna give you an opportunity to learn some Romanian words. Who knows? But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like. Oh, leave a comment telling me where you are from. I think that should be really interesting. And leave like the flag emoji. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!